Hi everybody, we're gonna watch The Last Supper together, one of our pieces from our most recent show. A little something new I'm trying, and we'll see how it goes. So we open with the long table inspired by the painting of The Last Supper. So it's sort of two-dimensional feeling, everyone on one side. And we're passing the elements across to our friends, and Jesus says, tonight, one of you will betray me. So there's kind of like this stabbing gesture, and we do hit the poses from the actual painting. This piece is truly an inner dialogue of an outward expression of an inward dialogue, because after he says, one of you will betray me, there's this feeling of, well, who is it gonna be? There's pointing fingers, there's chaos. So I suppose this could have been a really touching and tender piece of breaking bread, but it moves the story along in the sense of there's this urgency of who's it gonna be, and there's a lot of confusion. And understandably, I don't think the disciples really knew what was to actually come. Lots of partner work, obviously the disciples, lots of looking at one another with, I would say, paranoia, and of course, a lot of bench work. We had benches in last year's show, as well as this year's show, so lots of jumping over it, kind of trying to test what we can do, crawling on it, and finding different angles, which here's one right here. Amazing around it. Jesus is very barely in this piece. He comes across right here, and everyone looks at Judas. Judas looks back at everyone. We create the 11 here. This is just like an aisle down the center, and kind of see more of Judas's inner thoughts. Oh my gosh, am I giving it away? Spoiler, that is Judas. Kind of becoming more and more worried. Our friend Josh Klein, our theologian friend of Evergreen, he helps us with the context of a lot of these pieces, and talked a lot about how Judas really thought he was doing the right thing when it came to the overall mission, which is to overthrow what they thought was the mission, which is to overthrow the government. And so he runs away, and we end where we started. So kind of the idea there is we hit that last pose that we started with, almost thinking none of that actually happened. This is kind of where you left us. Everything you saw in between then and now at the end has all been internal. And so it's kind of a little choreographic method, and fun to play with, oh, was that real, what we just saw? All right, I hope you enjoyed watching Last Supper with me. Let me know what else you would love to talk through.